I'm Judith Segal. I work at the Open University, and I'm going to talk to you about differences in culture between the development, software development practices, values, etc. of scientists and the software practices, values, etc. of software engineers. Scientists frequently, very often, have experience of scientific end-user development, which means that they've developed software for their own use in their own lab to address a particular scientific problem of their own at a particular point of time. So this experience is quite often very successful, and so they think they know about scientific software development. And indeed they do, but only in a very specific context. That is the context of end-user development. In end-user development, if you're developing software for yourself, you don't care about usability because you, after all, are the user. You also don't care about eliciting requirements because the software's for you. So you might start off with a very fuzzy idea of what requirements you have, but the requirements will become more concrete as the software develops. So you develop a bit of software, you look at it, you think, wouldn't it be nice if it did this? Your requirements emerge. You're not concerned with sustainability, sorry Neil, because what's important to you is the scientific problem. Once the scientific problem is addressed, you don't care what happens to the software. And as for testing, don't even go there. In all my field studies, it's appeared that testing is really a judgment call on the scientists. Are the results consistent with their understanding of the science? Look at software engineers, on the other hand. Software engineers, I fear, can be an arrogant bunch. They think they know all there is. They think they know all there is to know about software development.
We do.
But often they don't realise that the context of scientific software development can be entirely different from commercial development, like bank software. When you get these people together, scientists and software engineers, that is a high potential for boom. I'll give you 2 examples of booms that I've seen in my field studies. The first one, software engineers working with scientists to build a library of software components for to be embedded in an instrument. So the software engineer was using something like a waterfall development methodology. So he kept saying to the scientists, give me your requirements. I really need your requirements. I can't start developing until I've got your requirements. Meanwhile, the scientists were fiddling around with the instrument, trying to figure out what configuration they really needed. And they were doing what scientists do, which is saying, wouldn't it be nice if we just tried this out? And meanwhile, the software engineer is saying, I need requirements. So that was clearly a mismatch of methodology with what the scientists actually did. And the second example is the other way around, where a scientist was a PI on a grant, a principal investigator on a grant, which involved a lot of software development. And because the scientist thought he knew about software development, but he only knew it in an end-user development context, he didn't realize that if you're developing software for a community, you really have to expend resources on requirements elicitation, usability, maintainability, testing. And so again, there was real tension between the 2 groups. That's me.
26 seconds.
I've come in on time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.